Have you been wanting to publish your own book but just have no idea where to start? This video will show you the easy steps for how to self-publish your first book on Amazon KDP. Welcome to my channel. My name is Caroline and I have been publishing books on Amazon KDP since around September 2020. And I have published a range of different books, from low content books like notebooks, journals, and coloring books to publishing children's picture books. There is a whole range of different books that you can make, and also a whole range of different ways that you can go about doing it. So that's what I'll be covering in this video. First of all though, I would like to just thank Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of online classes and members from all around the world. It's a place to get inspired, learn new skills, and really put them to work in impactful ways. I love that Skillshare has such a massive range of classes available across all different topics. I'm a huge advocate for self-education and always improving skills or learning new skills, and I believe self-improvement is a lifelong journey. We should never stop learning new things. Something that I've been focusing on this month is learning TikTok, as I talked about in a recent video I created. And I've just completed this class by Taylor Loren called Mastering TikTok, Stop Scrolling and Post Your First TikTok. And I am on my way to taking advantage of this social media platform. Because Skillshare is curated specifically for learning, it is ad-free, which is great for productivity with less distractions, and new premium classes are always being added. Skillshare has a great offer this month for the first 1,000 people to use the link in my description box, or my code MyFreedomEmpire will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. This trial gives you access to the complete library of classes, so you can learn something new right now, today. So firstly, to get your book published and for sale on the Amazon marketplace, you need to decide what type of book it is you want to create. Do you want to focus on low or no content books, which is books like notebooks, journals, coloring books, log books, or activity books? The advantage of these types of books is that you don't need to be good at writing, because these types of books will basically have no words in them, and they are very quick to create compared to a book with thousands of words like a novel. The disadvantage to making these types of books is because of the fact that they are relatively easy and quick to make, lots of people are doing it, and it can be very hard to find a niche that you can make enough sales in to make a full-time income or a substantial income. But it is not impossible. There are lots of people out there doing it, and if you hit the right niche with the right book, you can make massive amounts of money. The next option that you have is writing a book, and this can be a fiction book or a non-fiction book. The advantage to this type of book is that the people who like reading usually read a lot of books in that niche or genre that they're interested in. And if they do like a particular author, they tend to generally buy all the books that end up being published by that author. So in some ways, it can be easier to sell high content books compared to low content books, because readers are more willing to buy lots of different books by different authors in the genre they like. And it can be easier to build a brand that has devoted customers in. You also have the opportunity to start creating other products for your brand related to your brand once you have established and built up a fan base. The disadvantage to high content books is that you need to be able to write a full book or have the budget to hire someone to do it for you, and it takes longer to write and create high content books than it does to make a low or no content book. Whatever you decide, the next step is to start making or writing your book. Your book will be made in 2 parts. You will create an interior file, which is the interior pages of your book, and you will also need to create a cover file. And these 2 files eventually get uploaded into your KDP account so that you can publish your book. No matter which type of book you decide to create, you'll need to choose what program that you want to use to make it. To make a low content book, you can use something like Word or PowerPoint to create the interior and the cover, or you could even use Canva to create both the interior and the cover for your book. If you are creating a high content book or writing a high content book, you can use a program like Word, a professional writing software like Scrivener or Vellum, or you could even just use something free like Google Docs. So let's say you have now chosen what software you're going to use to create your actual book. If you decide to write the book yourself, I'd recommend hiring someone to edit the book for you, or at the very least, use something like Grammarly to check for spelling and grammatical mistakes, but there should really be a few steps in the editing process. First, just read and edit the book yourself and fix up any mistakes that you pick up. Use the spell check tool that comes with whatever program that you're using to write the book. Then take the book to Grammarly and use Grammarly to find any further spelling mistakes or grammar mistakes. At this point, it's probably a good idea to do another edit yourself. So read through the book again yourself and see if you can find any more mistakes that haven't already been picked up in your first edit and the Grammarly edit. And if you are able to, also print the book out if you can, because you tend to pick up different things when looking at a physical page in front of you as opposed to looking at a screen. It's also a good idea to give the book to somebody else to look for errors. If you have done the bulk of editing yourself, then you could just hire a proofreader to do one final edit on it and just go over and see if they can find any of the remaining mistakes. Now, in terms of outsourcing any of this work, for writing, editing, proofreading, and things like that, you can use websites like Upwork to help find someone to do these tasks for you. If you're talking just about the writing of the book, if you do not want to do that yourself and you want to hire somebody, again, you can look for somebody on Upwork, and there are also websites out there that are specifically for hiring ghostwriters to write your book. And ghostwriters are people that you can hire to write for you so that you can publish that book under your own name. The ghostwriter will never be associated with your book, with writing your book, or anything like that. You will always be listed as the author of the book, regardless of the fact that you've hired a ghostwriter. One example of a website where you can hire a ghostwriter for your book is Urban Writers. Another example is Elite Authors. Also, something just to keep in mind is the location of your audience. So, for example, I am based in Australia, but when I publish books, I mainly sell on the US Amazon store. Now, the US has different spelling and grammar than here in Australia. In Australia, our spelling and grammar is the same as British English, not the same as US English. So when I write books, I need to make sure that I adjust the way that I spell certain things and the grammar that I use in some cases to match that of the way that it is done in the US and for the US audience. Something else that is helpful to do before you start writing your book is do some research on the niche or the genre that you are creating a book for, and look at what kind of books are selling well in that niche and try to figure out why they are selling well. Take note of things like how many pages the book has, what kind of titles and keywords they use, and how they format their books. In some niches, there are a certain way that the customers like their books, and you may not want to stray from that in case it means you don't make sales. And by doing this, you can make sure that you can make your book the way that customers in that niche like. So once you have written your book or created your book, the next thing that you need to do is format your book or your interior pages to meet Amazon KDP's requirements. Amazon or KDP does have specific requirements that your files need to meet in order for your book to get approved when you're publishing it, and in order for your book to print out correctly when it's printed, and in order for it to be viewed correctly when it is being viewed on a Kindle device. And all the information that you need to know about how to format your files can be found on the KDP Guidelines website. Now, if you are making a low or no content book, it is fairly simple and easy to create an interior that meets KDP's specifications. If you are writing a high content book, then the KDP guidelines also do show you how to format your book when you are using Word and programs like Word so that you can format your files for your book. If you have used a professional writing program, then these programs allow you to export your files suitable and already meeting KDP specifications. If you have used Word, or say you've used Google Docs and you don't feel confident formatting those files yourself, then you can find programs online to help you do this, or you can hire somebody to do this for you. Formatting is particularly important for high content books because you will need to create one document specifically specifically formatted for a paperback book, and then you will need to create a second document specifically created for your Kindle version of your book, and the formatting is going to be different on each of those. But once that is all done, you now have your interior files all completed, and it's time to create your cover. Again, the options here are that you have the do-it-yourself method, or you can hire somebody to do it for you. Personally, if you are not experienced in graphic design, even on an amateur or hobbyist level, then I would highly recommend having someone create a cover for you. You don't have to spend a lot of money on having a cover created, but the cover is basically what gets people to click on your book, so you need to get it right. That is all you have to catch a customer's attention. So if you don't get it right, it can mean the difference between your book selling and your book just getting buried way, way down on the Amazon search results pages, never to be seen. If you do choose to make the cover yourself, all that you need to do is download a cover template from the KDP website so that you have the correct file size for your book. This all depends on the amount of pages your book has, the paper type, and the cover type, so make sure to download the template before you start making the cover for your book. It'll save lots of time in editing in the long run. Then just create the cover in whatever program that you prefer. So this could be Photoshop, it could be Illustrator, it could be Canva. If you decide that you do want to have a cover made for you, then you have a few different options. Let's say you are writing a fiction novel, specifically a cozy mystery novel. Each genre has its own specific style of cover that sells very well for a book. What I would do is I would go on Facebook and I would join some groups in that specific niche that I'm writing a book in, and I would look for a cover designer in there that comes recommended from other authors in that genre. You do need to make sure that your cover fits your genre as well as looking professional. If you are writing something different, like a non-fiction book, or you just can't find a cover designer in any Facebook groups or anything like that, you could look at hiring someone on a website like Upwork, or you could use a website like 99 Designs, which is a website specifically for hiring graphic designers. The great thing, or the fun thing about 99 Designs is that it is a contest type of deal. So what happens is you upload your job and you list all the specifications that you require for your cover, and then people sort of bid for your job, but they do that by showing you a design, a draft design of the cover, so that you can see what their design's like, you can see what their skills are like, and then you just get to choose which one that you like best. And when you pick the one that you like best, you hire that designer to create your cover. So it's great because you get to see the design or an idea of the design before you actually hire the person. If you do end up deciding to create your own cover, my biggest tip would be to research lots of books on Amazon, especially in the niche or the genre that you're going to be creating a book in, and see which ones are selling best, and look at what types of things they have used on their covers to attract your attention, and try to include similar kind of elements in your cover. Once you have created your cover, you now have your two files, your interior file and your cover file, and you're now ready to upload your book to Amazon. At this point, if you don't already have one, then you'll need to create an Amazon KDP account. Once you have your KDP account, you'll need to upload the various different versions of your book. If you are creating no or low content books, you will probably only have one version of your book to upload, which is the paperback version, because low and no content books generally aren't suitable for Kindle. If you have a high content book, then you will have your paperback version of the book, you will have your Kindle version of the book, and you may even possibly have a hardcover version of your book. It doesn't cost anything to create a KDP account or upload books to Amazon KDP, so just having all those different versions, it's worthwhile uploading them all because it just gives your customer choice of what version of your book that they want to read. So to start with, we can upload the paperback version of the book. This is where you will want to enter the title of your book. The title field of your book needs to be exactly the same as what is on the cover of your book. You then have the option of including a subtitle if you want to just give a little bit more info about what the book is about, or maybe some keywords that will help the book get found, as long as the keywords are entered in a natural way into your subtitle. You can also enter your author name here and anyone else who contributed to the book. This is where you want to enter your description as well. Now, a book's description is not indexed, which means any words you enter into your description will not be found in the search results when someone's searching for a book on Amazon. So just use this section to really talk about what is in your book, what the book's about, how it's going to help the customer solve whatever problem it is that they have, or what they're going to get out of reading or buying your book. This is also where you want to select the categories that you want your book to go in, which is related to the niche or the genre that your book is about. The next page is where you upload your files for your interior and your cover. Once you've uploaded the file for your interior and your cover, you will need to preview the book to make sure that your formatting is working correctly, meaning everything is where it should be on the page. There's nothing outside the trim marks and nothing is going to get cut off when the book gets made. If there are any issues with the formatting of the book here, Amazon will tell you and you'll need to fix them before you are able to continue publishing your book. Now, the last page is where you set the pricing of your book, and you'll also see here how much royalty you are going to make per sale of your book depending on what region it sells in. You will also want to check the box for distribution, because that means Amazon's distributors, which are wholesalers and retailers who want to put your book in their store, can buy it. If you do not select this option, then your book will only be available to be sold on Amazon only. Now, once you have completed entering all this information, you can hit publish and your book will go to the Amazon KDP team to be reviewed. If they do have any issues that need to be fixed up, they will send you an email telling you what you need to do. Otherwise, it will be approved and available for sale on Amazon. Now, once your book is live, there is a couple of things that you can do to get your book found and make sales of your book. One is to create an Author Central account and link your book to it so that if customers want to find a bit more about you as an author and see what other books you have available, they can do that. And also, you will want to create A+ content, which is a new feature to KDP. It allows you to include more information about you, about the book, about your brand, as well as being able to add some more images to your listings, which is great for showing customers why your book is perfect for them and why they should purchase it. And that is how you self-publish your first book as a beginner. Once you create and publish one book, it becomes much easier and quicker to do more. I hope you have found this video helpful for if you have been wanting to publish your own book but just had no idea where to start. If you did find this video helpful, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video.